Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm bringing you a new logo design video. This one is going to be for an esports organization called Crave Gaming. You might have or not have heard of them. I personally haven't, but who knows. Basically, these guys already had a logo. As you can see on the screen, that was what they were using. I'm not one to piss all over someone's work, but of course, I can't be dishonest and say that it's good. I found many things wrong with this one, and starting with the dog's anatomy and face structure and everything to color choice, just random design elements. The text is just sort of thrown there like haphazardly. It's not very unified, and it's crooked also, which I guess was intended, but it doesn't work for me. So my approach to this was to revamp the whole thing entirely. I drew this dog after looking at lots of pictures of cartoon and vector type drawings to see how people draw animals and stuff. I always gotta look that shit up when I do animals, because I don't want this dog looking like a pig or a human too much. So you gotta keep the certain elements of anatomy consistent. But of course, I didn't get carried away with the amount of research, because that can happen as well. You get caught up in this whole, oh, I need this image, and this image looks good, and I can definitely get something from this one. And so hours pass, and you have all of this inspiration scattered all over your browsers and desktop and tiny windows, and then you're like, I don't feel like working on this right now. I'm just going to leave it for tomorrow. So, it's good to limit. I generally at least try to limit the amount of research I do for any project to, from 1 hour to a couple of hours, but nothing more than that, because it's very easy to get caught up in so much inspiration, and then you go back to the image and you have no idea what you saw in there or what you wanted to take from it, and so on and so forth. So it's a really rather simple process. In this case, I revamped the dog, I revamped the shield, I made it look more dynamic. I kept the shield because I think it's a pretty common design element that's associated oftentimes with sports teams and various sports-related organizations. It's people nowadays generally think of two things when they see a shape like that. Either they think of a cops or they think of a sports team. So esports wants to see itself as a sport, so I think it's not a problem keeping that consistent with both digital and physical sports teams or organizations. So that was about it. I mean, there's no other intricate processes that I can talk about other than what you see on the screen. But there was something I wanted to tell you guys, and I guess I'll use this video as an opportunity to. Yesterday was a very interesting day. Yesterday was a day I feared for my life, and it's been a while since that happened to me. Well, actually, no. I feared for my life when I flew back to Romania, and I guess that's about it since then. So it's been about 10 days since I feared for my life. Let's just put it like that. So we called these roof fixers over. We found a flyer in our mailbox with a telephone number of a team of roof fixers claiming to fix everything, give you a warranty. The text was believable. So our roof had been busted open by a snowstorm that was here recently, pretty bad, and it was banging and making noise all night, so we decided to fix it. So we called these guys over. 5 gypsies show up at my doorstep. Not 1, 2, but 5 of them, because you need a half a football team to fix just a piece of metal on a roof. So I wasn't home at this time, but I was in a cab heading home, and the cab driver was telling me about this band of gypsies that basically scammed his neighbor. They came to fix his roof, asked for like $100 at the beginning. The guy agreed to it. They did the job supposedly, and then at the end they asked for 10 times that, so they wanted $1,000 with the excuses that they use their own materials, and materials cost a lot, and we just misunderstood them, and they actually said 1,000, and we agreed to it. And it degenerates into this whole scandal, followed by them calling their relatives over because they're playing the act with the excuse that, oh yeah, these fuckers are trying to scam us, good workers, so we're gonna show them. And they call their cousins and brothers over, and they show up in cars, and they beat the shit out of you, and they get the money some way or another. Either they empty your house if it's somewhere isolated and you don't have any neighbors. It's high chance you'll probably get knocked the fuck out and you'll have your entire house emptied. But if you're in the middle of the city, I guess they just beat you and take whatever's within reach. So the driver was telling me about this story as I was coming home. My mom called me on the phone and told me that I should probably get home because these guys were in the house. You get to the attic through the house, and the house is on the first floor, and so they would be going through my apartment basically. So she didn't want them to steal anything because it's, you can just open a door and take something. I had iPads, I had fucking 2 laptops up here. It's very easy to just grab something and run for it because you'll get more money out of that than what you had planned to blackmail the person out of in the first place. So I came home, they banged on my roof for like 2 hours. Mom is settled with them at about $100 for the whole operation. I only saw a couple of them, but I heard more voices and they were talking in their distinctive style. And then at the end, they tried to scam my mom for $1,000. So I was here in my room. I was hearing loud voices downstairs. And of course, I got freaked out, as any son would. So I ran downstairs, started yelling at them. They started yelling at me, telling me this old bullshit about how they use these special nails and this special this and that. And we just misunderstood them. It was actually $1,000 they needed, and they used their own materials, and they did us such a great favor. A typical bullshit gypsy speech that all scammers use in a situation like this. So I wasn't falling for it because I was fresh in my mind with the story from the cab driver. Like, that was a weird moment. So I told them I'd call the cops. I was basically looking for weapons nearby because this was already getting to a little bit of pushing. And they were yelling and saying that they're going to call someone over, Gigi the butcher, or whoever the fuck they come up with. They're going to call their gypsy shit relatives over, and they're going to beat us. So, my mom was like, couldn't believe it. She was kind of in a state of shock. I was really worked up and angry. I was like yelling at them, get the fuck out of here. I told them how much we're going to give them. We eventually settled upon like $400, which is like less than half than what they claimed. But it was down to call the cops. It was down to like, I'm gonna grab this knife and probably kill you if you don't back off, that kind of situation. Eventually they left with that money. Things were fine. We didn't get to throwing punches around, thankfully. One of them was drunk off his ass and he was acting kind of aggressively. The other one was this, like, he had missing teeth in his mouth. He looked like shit, and he was like constantly stumbling and just acting weird and eating words up and talking in this broken Romanian with their very distinctive accents. But yeah, they eventually fucked off, and I ended up staying up all night guarding the house out of fear of them coming back to finish what they started, take more money. I don't know what they saw here. They didn't see much. They only saw like the kitchen, which is not particularly luxurious, and unless they opened my room and saw all the random electronics I have around here, then they wouldn't have any reason to believe that we're like well off or something like that, by Romanian standards, of course. So yeah, nothing happened. Hopefully nothing will happen tonight either. I'm still gonna be on the watch because, quite frankly, I can't be asked with gypsy burglars at this point in time. I'm kind of over that whole bullshit. So we'll see what happens. If I end up on TV, I'm sure my Romanian viewers will see me there for, accidentally or no, self-defense, I guess. That would be the whole shit. So, yeah, life in Romania. I'm really glad to be home, and I miss this country so much, and it's awesome being here. It's the first 2 weeks, and this shit has already happened, so until next time, when I probably will fear for my life again. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry I hijacked this video with this topic, but I thought it was relevant while it was still fresh. This happened yesterday, so today everything is fine. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it here. I think that's enough of a story for my foreign viewers to take in. My Romanian viewers will instantly believe that because it's characteristic to our country, but it's a bit harder for foreigners to believe that that actually happens to people. So yeah, please, if you don't care about this, just rate the logo if you liked it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.